So in a nutshell, everything does happen for a reason. I'm not gonna do that, but I did it, so it happened. Okay, what is happening? It is Ricky here with a new video. I did intend to put the other one out sooner rather than later, but you know, life. The things happened, all the things happened, so that didn't really go to plan, but it is what it is, and I'm back now. I'm gonna try to keep this one short. It is going to be about a little bit about what Crohn's disease is, what the symptoms are, and kind of like what my symptoms were and how I got diagnosed, basically in a nutshell. And then in future videos I'll go into more detail about other things, so if anybody has any questions or comments, leave them down below, or feel free to message me, whatever whatever works for you. But yeah, let's get straight into it. So what is Crohn's disease? Crohn's disease is considered a chronic condition and is one of the two main types of inflammatory bowel disease, the other being ulcerative colitis. Crohn's is a condition that causes inflammation in the digestive tract, and inflammation being the body's natural response to injury or irritation, and can cause redness, swelling and pain. It's also considered a chronic condition, meaning that it is considered to be lifelong and ongoing. At present, there isn't a medical cure for Crohn's disease. The only solutions right now are medication and potential surgery to help provide relief from symptoms, which may be long lasting or maybe temporary. It really depends on the person. Crohn's manifests differently in different individuals. So for example, my symptoms may be very different to the next person. It's not an infectious condition, meaning that you can't catch it or anything like that. It's an autoimmune condition. Individuals suffering with Crohn's disease may have periods of good health, known as remission, as well as periods where symptoms are a bit more active, known as relapses or flare-ups. Crohn's disease causes ulceration and inflammation, which affects the body's ability to digest food, nutrients and eliminate waste in a healthy way. It can affect any area of the gut, but typically affects the small intestine or the colon. It can affect the gut lining, but can also potentially penetrate deeper into the bowels, causing other conditions such as abscesses or fistulas being abnormal tracts between two organs. Symptoms can include, but are not limited to, abdominal pain and diarrhea, tiredness and fatigue, which may be a direct cause of the condition, or as a result of, like, for example, loss of sleep due to pain, or recovery from surgery, or a multitude of factors could result in that. Could also cause ulceration, anemia, loss of appetite and weight loss. Again, the weight loss could be as a direct cause, or it could potentially be as a result of malabsorption of nutrients and ulceration, and the list goes on. The list goes on. A lot of the like symptoms could be, like I mentioned, as a direct result of having the condition, or it could be a less direct, as in I have the condition, so therefore I have this symptom, but this symptom then has a knock-on effect and causes another one, which is very, very common in a lot of autoimmune conditions. It is not currently known what exactly causes Crohn's disease. However, there are a lot of ideas, thoughts and theories. I'm not about to go into any of them. What I will do is talk about what my symptoms were and how that led to me getting diagnosed with Crohn's disease. Okay, so I was diagnosed with Crohn's disease when I was 16. I was presenting symptoms for about 2 years, and so those symptoms started off. Okay, a little backstory. So when I was 16, I think that was the age when I started to care a bit more about like my appearance and things like that, and I'd had a couple of comments. Here's my disclaimer: when I was 16, I was getting a little bit chubby. That's as far as it goes, really. But I'd had a couple of comments, and I don't know, those things just really stuck with me, and it's like I seem to forget everything else positive that I believed about myself or others believed about me, and I just held on to those two people that said those things, and it really affected my self-esteem and whatever. And I was going hard. I was literally like doing 3 extracurricular sports and working out every day at home. I was just like, I was like it really did get to me. So that is the first thing that actually led to kind of figuring out that something was wrong, because so in a nutshell, everything does happen for a reason. I mean, I feel like at some point I would have figured out, like, or got to the point where like it was clear something was wrong anyway, but I feel like that actually did, in hindsight, hasten the process. So thank you. Anyway, so yes, anyway, so I was working out super hard, and I started to lose weight quickly, very quickly. And I was kind of just like, I mean, initially I wasn't losing anything. I was just kind of like, this stuff doesn't work, like somebody lied to me. But yeah, and then when I did, it started losing weight, like it was crazy. And my mom was like, are you okay? And I was like, oh yeah, I'm just like working out a lot, blah, blah, blah. She's like, oh yeah, you're losing a lot of weight. And I was like, yeah, I'm doing like 3 sports a week and then working out at home like nearly every day, like I should hope so. You know what I mean? And she was like, okay. And then I think maybe another month or so passed. She's like, no, you're losing a lot of weight, like a unhealthy amount of weight. Like you could literally, you could start to see like my bones and things like that. And for me, that wasn't normally how my body is. So she was like, yeah, no, I think something's up. And I was like, no, I'm fine. And I think I still wasn't in the right mental state, because I was holding on to those negative opinions, and like it distorted my view of myself. So I was seeing everything through a distorted lens. So because I was still in that frame of mind, I was kind of just like, oh no, it's fine because I'm working towards this and I'm seeing the results of it, so nothing's wrong, it's fine. That was like my mentality. Then she was like, no, I don't. And I was just, yeah. Anyway, so and then after that, I was like, the next symptom I noticed was just chronic fatigue. Like it's not even just tiredness, like no matter how much I slept, no matter what I did, I was exhausted. I had like dark circles under my eyes. I was also borderline anemic. But I was just exhausted. Like I was struggling to focus and stay awake at school. When I got home, I'd literally just fall asleep, and then I'd wake up and I'd feel like I didn't even sleep. I just felt exhausted. And then the next morning I'd wake up and it just kept like spiraling. It just seemed to keep getting worse and worse. I was just like, can I just have a whole day to sleep? And even that wouldn't have helped. I would have just felt exactly the same. It was horrible, I'm not gonna lie. The next thing was back pain. I don't know if that was completely linked. I'm not sure, but that happened. Like really bad, like back pain. It was really random. Like I thought maybe it's because like my books were too heavy or something, but that happened. And yeah, so I started to go to the doctors, and that's when they said I was borderline anemic. And then they said, oh, she's probably just tired. And my mom was like, oh no, like it's not just tiredness, it's like deeper than that. But like they kind of thought that we were overreacting, so it's just kind of like, okay. So anyway, so that kept going on, and then after a while I started to get really bad like abdominal pain, and yeah, and like it didn't feel like cramps, it kind of just felt like a dull ache. Like it's really difficult to explain. It felt like a mixture of things. It felt like a dull ache, but it also kind of felt like a stabbing pain. It kind of felt like knotting, if that makes sense. Kind of like cramping, but more knotting than cramping. But yeah, and like it just felt like sore all the time, and that's like happened. And then sometimes it was there, sometimes it wasn't, and yeah, and then went to the doctors again. And long story short, it was about 2 years of back and forth with doctors and blood tests and hospitals and more blood tests and this consultant and that consultant. And I think because I was 16, they, to some degree, they were kind of implying that they thought I was kind of exaggerating. And I feel like the bottom line is they didn't know what was going on, and that's okay. But they were implying that I was kind of exaggerating, and that wasn't okay. But then I had a really, really good consultant, and he was like, I don't know right now what is wrong with you, but I can tell something's not right. I just don't know what it is. I was like, I respect that honesty and transparency, because like that's more than I've got. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, so he kind of organized like a bunch of tests, and quite a lot of them came back like normal, so it was a bit like, okay, so what's going on? And then it was when I had a colonoscopy, which is in essence where they kind of put a tube with a camera into your bowels, so they can kind of have a look around and check the health of your bowels. This also allows them to do and perform a biopsy, so they can kind of take a small sample and kind of test the health of the cells and that type of thing. So that's what they did, and it was once that happened, that's when they diagnosed me with Crohn's disease. So yes, that is how from like 14 until 16 I had those symptoms, and then that was my diagnosis. And yeah, I'm not gonna go into too much more because I want to talk about more in another video, but yeah, after that I did go on medication, and yeah, that was my Crohn's symptom diagnosis story. At present, my symptoms are not the same as they were before. I currently have little to no symptoms. I want to discuss in another video what I did, what I tried, what worked, what didn't work, and basically how I got to this point. But yeah, I just wanted the purpose of this video to kind of raise a bit more awareness about it, and just provide some insight and information, because like I said, symptoms for everybody are different. So yeah, I may have listed those symptoms like which are kind of standard symptoms, but my symptoms, I had some of those symptoms, but I also had different symptoms, and that's just how it is for everybody, because everybody is unique and everybody is different, and that is okay. But yeah, I guess I will see you guys in another video. And we're back. Alrighty, let's go. I'd have let it be. Don't let that be. Yeah, you tell them to stop and they don't. What is happening? It is Ricky here, back with a new video. I actually intended, no, pause, hold that thought. I'm gonna keep today's one quite short. It's going to be about wow, it would help if I knew. Is it? Is she here? I don't know. I did actually intend to put out the next one. This is the next one. I'll be back. It is currently not known what exactly causes Crohn's. I can't. I'm nearly there. Alright, I'm back for real now. I can't do it. And we're back. No, that didn't work, did it? No, it didn't. Okay. Alright, this might be a serious take. Might be, might not. See, clearly not. We're gonna have to do it again. Do it again, Natalia. Do it again. Wow. I don't know what that was.